All right. We're live with another episode of SPK. I'm your host, Chef Peter Ecker, and this is This or That, and we got our dukes up because we're fighting inflation today with some incredible dishes. So hopefully you'll really love some of the ideas. Some of them we talked a little bit about in some of the other shows, but I thought it was really important to bring them back and talk a little bit. So this episode's a little bit different. I don't have a guest chef, so we're not going back and forth. It's just me fighting inflation for you, right? And we'll just dial in on all that stuff. So
wait. I'm here too, Pete. Right? So anyways, I have to jump in here because Pete, you do such a great job for us.
Watch out, I'm wild.
But I want to just also mention, Peter, first of all, I just wanted to shout out, you are a rock star of all these amazing ideas and things that you do for us on SVK. So I look forward to you beating the bejesus out of food inflation today with your ideas. Because it can be done, right, Pete?
Absolutely, it can be done. Yep.
So how long have you been doing this in this industry? Like 400 years? You've seen this come and go.
Close, about 44 years. But that's all right. 444. It felt like 400 years, but that's all right.
So you've done this before.
I've been here with you for just 19 years now. Last month, so
yeah, I know it's coming up.
Yeah.
It's coming up. Hey, Pete, you've seen food inflation before happen in our industry many, many times.
Yeah,
right.
Yes,
you've been through it I've been through it 2004, 2008.
Yeah.
Right, a few times 2012. We've seen these spikes. I know it's bigger than ever that we've seen today. That we're seeing today in Canada. But it can be done, right? You've had to battle this in restaurants and hotels you've worked in.
Yeah, it can be done, and there's a few things to consider. One is, when's the last time you really dug deep into your menu? And are all your items that are there actually making you money? Are they selling? If you have waste, you have products that are falling down. So we wanted to talk a little bit about what that looked like. And that's why we need people to get the blinders off a little bit when it comes to running their establishments and really take a hard look at what's kind of going on in the coolers, the freezers, and the line productions, all that kind of stuff, and make sure that they are utilizing their foods. And so I'm really going to take a really hard swing at all of that today. And, starting off was talk a little bit about products that were falling down. These are fresh Fresno peppers that I dehydrated overnight, and basically you can crush them up and make a powder. But these were already falling down, getting wrinkled, getting blemished. And how was I supposed to use them as a fresh product? Well, I wasn't able to anymore. And a lot of cooks would end up tossing it out, or chef wouldn't know what to do with it. But we put it in a dehydrator and we made it a valuable product again. So that's definitely one of the things that we're talking about.
So Peter, it can be done.
Can be done.
Now, what would you say to chefs and restaurateurs right now that are on their little TikTok or they're on their Instagram or they're on their LinkedIn and they read all this negative stuff? Should they listen to this stuff or what? Or what's your suggestions there?
First of all, you should stop and ask yourself some of those questions that I just mentioned a minute ago. But you need to not take things verbatim, and you really need to drive down to the things that are affecting your business. So we all know the cost of certain dishes have gone way up, and we really wanted to talk a little bit about why we're doing what we're doing. A good example is that we have some trending flavors going on here, and this it's got some East Indian flavors. It's got lentils on there and curry in there and cumin on the pizza. There's no cheese, which is like all the money, right? And we got some great eggs on here for protein, low cost. Some lentils in the sauce, great cost. And then I had some tomatoes. I used some canned tomatoes today, but you can use your fresh tomatoes, and I smoked them for about an hour. So now my sauce has got a really nice smoky flavor to it. So we're actually going to pop this in the oven and get it cooking while we're talking.
No way. So we have Cameron on the camera today. Cameron, what's your 2 cents, as you may want to throw the camera out and see you. What's your 2 cents on this inflation thing? There you are. Yeah. What's your thoughts on inflation?
I think it's, everyone is battling this right now. Every consumer is trying to make profit. And we were just talking to a customer today in Western Manitoba about, their struggles and, and analyzing their menu and, taking things off that aren't selling, being creative, making yourself stand out, and what is, say, a signature item. Why are people going to want to come to your place? and upselling some things, and appetizers, you can do that, quite easily. It just takes a little bit of creativity, and a great chef like Peter. And it's a very competitive market, and we have to really put our chef hats on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Cameron. That's awesome. All right, Ecker.
No, that's great. That's awesome.
What are you doing now?
And and you've heard me talk about it before, but I'm a huge fan of this, and that when the idea of this or that is pulse products. Okay, so when you think about chickpeas, beans, lentils, peas, we got some pinto beans here, we got some green lentils. You don't just use it for what they were traditionally used for. You actually use them in the dishes to substitute some protein portion or all of the protein to keep your cost down to fight inflation. So these are in some of our dishes. This is really, really important to me. And then you've heard me talk before about the noodle. Well, we got some brand new sweet potato noodles, dry noodles here. And the only ingredient in here is sweet potatoes, right? And then, of course, we have the pad thai noodle right here. So, beautiful. So, we all know what Italian style pasta is, but what about all the other noodles? And what are you doing with them, and how are you utilizing them on your menus, right? So, this is another real important thing to take a look at fighting inflation by keeping your costs down, by using some unique noodles, bringing in new flavors, keeping the protein up, keeping the excitement going, which is exactly what we've done here with our first appetizer. And I got a little bit of some hand bread here that we're gonna pop on the flat top here. Not easy, but the idea here is that we had some falling down lemons. So of course we charred them and roasted them so that we're gonna squeeze them on this beautiful Mediterranean plate. And I'll talk a little bit about what the green garnish here is in the middle, because that was another product that was falling down that we had no use for. And what was happening in there was a little bit of the same thing. This was a very exciting, spicy sort of salsa chimichurri that we made. But in here was the outside of the limes that after you squeeze the limes, you throw them in the garbage. Well, we didn't. We threw them right in the moulinex. We threw the serrano peppers that were falling down fresh in the moulinex. We poured a little bit of some garlic, a little touch of canola oil in there, some leftover yellow bell pepper that was falling down and was getting all wrinkly and soft, and some white onion. We pureed it up in here. We seasoned it. An absolutely incredible Serrano style salsa. Great, but 80% of it was all falling down. It couldn't be used for what you would generally be using it for or as a fresh component. So here we have a great, incredible salsa now that will last us another week or two in the cooler, where before it would have ended up in the trash, right? So
Pete,
yeah.
Pete, most of that stuff would just be waste, right? It's like we were talking about.
Yeah.
So most restaurants really shouldn't have much waste nowadays if they're using it kind of in this manner, right?
No, and again, this is the next one here. But this one here, what we had, it's a little bit darker because I froze it. For what I plan to use it for, this is the minted cilantro one, where I took the fresh herb and I just threw it in the freezer because I didn't know what I was going to make with it. And I made a really nice pesto. But no nuts and no cheese. It's just the oil, the herbs, and the garlic, right? So we don't need the nut price. We don't need the cheese price. We need the flavor. And that's exactly what we've done here with this Mediterranean pesto. So let's get up to our first appetizer, Jake.
JK, let's go for it.
This here. Now, this is the naan bread. We know how pliable and versatile this is, whether it's a wrap like a Euro style or whether you're making an individual style pizza. This is really important. And I did some measuring for us before the show so that we knew exactly what we had going on here. And there's the one pita to eat with the hummus. But I garnished mine with a few chickpeas, the oil, a little of the sour cream, and the spicy salsa that we use, and the lemons that were falling down. So the idea of this here, Jay, this has got the same amount of protein in it as eating a 4-ounce chicken breast.
What?
And it's, I guess maybe we're going to ask Cameron. Cameron, what do you think you'd be able to sell this Mediterranean appetizer for?
For sure, $12.
Cost $2.
Okay, whoa. I got to put the camera on. Throw it up again, Pete. What? How much?
$2. Jay, $2. The camera's so excited, I'll tell you. Look at it go. But really, this was an important thing. You got all the freshness. You have everything that you need, easy to use. You got the product that came. If you buy a dry chickpea, that's fine. But otherwise, you have a canned style chickpea. and you got yourself a wonderful appetizer here with some great flavors, huh?
It's crazy, Pete.
Beautiful. Not only easy,
Cool.
is we just warmed up the naan bread for 1 minute, and that dish was ready. Low labor, low impact, high profitability.
Well, and easy. You know, you hear the staff's a problem and stuff, and so it's easy too, right?
Wow, the flavors of that spicy salsa that we made there with the lemon. Oh, wow, that's incredible flavors going on that one. Now, I wanted to take a minute, Jay, and talk a little bit about rice. So I'm using a basmati rice today. This is really important. Well, whether you're using a regular rice or whole wheat rice, but I'm using a basmati today. And this is also really important. This is a whole. Go ahead, Jay.
Why basmati?
Well, it's a whole grain product and does have some protein content, but it's also very versatile. Works in a lot of different great dishes. So what we did is we made ourselves some arancinis, or like little rice balls. We stuffed in some leftover pork sausage in here, and we spiced up with a little bit of some chili powder and some of the cheese that was kind of the end of the cheese, or the cheese that wasn't put away properly, got a little dry. But we just grated that all up, and we put it in with the meat, and then we put it inside the rice, and we breaded it. And then we're just going to pop them in the deep fryer and have ourselves an incredible appetizer. So let's get that started while we're talking.
Pete, question.
Yeah,
Can you freeze cheese?
you can. And what you're going to use it for later is going to be important. So some of the things that we were doing before is, and again, you have to follow the temperature controls. You have to follow the health inspector rules. But if you're not leaving your product out for too long, and it's something that you cut up but you didn't use, as long as that you handle it properly, you can put it in the freezer, because we're going to take it out and we're going to make things with it. And one of the things that we made with it, I'm going to show you these little hand meat pies that we made, also with some leftovers and some falling down product and some leftover pastry trim that we had from a pie that we made. And again, when you're trimming things, what do you do with it? Well, we put it all back together in a ball, and we rolled it out, and we made little hand pies. Okay. So,
Pete,
yeah.
I was watching the Dragon or the Shark Tank the other day, and there was a couple on there that made they made something like this that we're selling left and right, and it was like 48 cents to cost per pie.
Right. Well, in South Africa, they have their hand pies are very popular there. I think it's called king pie, and that's a lot of different products are stuffed inside this pastry, and it's like street food, and they eat that. And again, it's the same kind of concept going on there.
Yeah.
So while our little arancinis are cooking, I want to talk a little bit about
How long did you put them in there for, Pete?
It'll be about 4 minutes.
Okay.
Right. So what we had here is we had our little flight of pulses, right? We had our chickpeas, our black beans, our lentil, our red lentils and green lentils here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves a breakfast or a dinner with the rice, with a little bit of some fried egg and a few other things. So we'll get that started right now. You see that coming up off the back here. Yeah, thank you. Kind of pointing at the oven there that the pizzas are almost ready. All right. So what I want you to see here, we got the rice started here.
Yeah.
See the basmati's rice is here. We'll make the open center. We'll put the egg right in here. And we'll get it cooking. Okay.
Okay. So Pete,
Yeah.
was that rice was cooked? It was cooled down, or is it warmer in there?
No, it's cooled down. Yeah.
It's cooled down. Okay.
Good cool down. Easy to deal with. Yeah.
So you're just dropping an egg in there.
Yeah, I got two in there. We want to put sort of like a full meal instead of it just being just an appetizer.
No, you can have one for camera.
And again, this will be something that will be ready in about 4 minutes. Easy for us to deal with. While that's going, I want to talk about taking roast beef and turning it into steak.
There's no way you can do that.
So what we did is we took the outside round and we cut it into about like a half-ounce piece. And then we marinated it in a little bit of some gochujang and some spices, and we let it marinate overnight to break down the tissue so it can be soft. So you're looking for an economical way to have steak bites, you can always use an outside roast and do that. And I just dust it in a little bit of flour, and then I put it in the deep fryer. But you've seen me do this before.
Now, Pete, people can do this with pork too, right? People can
This
do
is
this
part of
with
the
pork.
prep, Jay. It's already done. It takes 1 minute to heat up and go. So this is really important. Already roast in the steak.
That's crazy, Pete.
Awesome. I know that was important for what we're going to do with the steak bites, and we'll put them in the presentation. But I just want to bring the pizza out now so you can get a real good
This
look
is
at
the
what's
pizza
going on.
with no cheese, Pete, right? No cheese.
No cheese pizza.
No cheese pizza. I'm sure there's a few people that like no cheese pizzas.
There it is. But in the bowl,
In the bowl.
the arugula, we have the mint and cilantro pesto, no nuts, no cheese, olive oil, a little bit of some garlic. And the idea here is this arugula is now the garnish on this pizza.
Okay, let's go down. I'm going over there, Cameron, on that camera. Here we go. No, you sure there's no cheese on there, Pete?
No cheese. And then, of course, what we're doing with this here is we take all the nice juice, we pour it all around the crust. Just like that.
There you go.
So we think we made this dough, it was under $1. We have 6 eggs on it. We have some lentils. We have some vegetables. We have the smoked tomato sauce. And there it is.
$3.
And total cost is probably about $3.50 or so. And then a little bit of the arugula might be about 25 cents. But this is a $30 pizza, Jay.
There you go. Cameron, would you say $30?
All day.
All day? There you go.
Here's our steak bites. Put it right in here for the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, just like a dozen wings.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we made a French onion sour cream, so just French onion mix and sour cream as our dip. So nothing fancy on that side, old school.
Well, Mom did that back in the 80s.
That's right. Just wanted you to feel at home, Jake. And this one here is a little
Did not complain, Pete. It's a good one.
miso sour cream, right? So the little bit of the trim. But the idea of the perfectly cooked steak bite, look how juicy that is. Right?
Pete, you gotta. Okay, what's it cost? What's your cost? Give me cost. Under 3?
This has 4 ounces of roast beef. $1. Condiments, $1.75.
$2.75.
$1.75.
$1.75.
Yeah.
$1.75, folks. That's an appetizer. Okay, here we go. What are we gonna go for the cost? Cameron, steak bites.
Selling price?
Yeah, sell price.
Well, even if you market it as, a little bit of an upscale item with, accompaniments and sauces, again, that could be, it could be a $14 appetizer. I think people would, pay that. You can, have a little bit more portion size, and you can even do it for 2 people. What do you think,
You
Chef?
could throw a mocktail in there, right?
Now listen to this. Perfect. Now,
Sure, there's
everybody,
cheese on there. Ecker,
you
I
cut
think
that
there's
in
cheese
6,
on there.
if you cut that in 6, look at that piece of pizza. Look how big that is. Compared to my hand.
It's crazy.
All day long. This is incredible. What a value. I can't wait to try that one and really get some of those great flavors from the sweet tomatoes and the cumin and the curry on that pizza. No cheese pizza.
No cheese pizza. What's the cheese is always really crazy expensive, right? And over abused on pizzas. We know.
That's right. Right?
All
So
right, what's
that was-
next?
That was great. The
Two dishes under $3.
This is great. This was going to be awesome because not only do we have the smoky tomato sauce.
Okay, give me cost, Pete, while you do this. Give me some costs.
Okay, so 25 cents.
25 cents right there.
Yeah.
Okay, 25. How much?
These are probably about 15 cents.
No.
It's just, it's a tablespoon of rice, Jay, with a little bit of leftover sausage and cheese.
Dude, that's crazy.
Isn't that awesome? And then again, when you're thinking about how do you cross-utilize something, this works here too perfect. What other things are you going to use your arugula for? Look at that. Wonderful.
Okay, what cost? Total cost?
$1.20.
Well, say $1.30 because you put a little extra arugula.
Sure, yeah, if you want to, but again, it's rice.
Cameron, give me a sell price on that. What do you think of that, man?
That's awesome.
Bargain price, $9.95.
Oh, easy.
$9.95. What are appetizers? What's the average appetizer right now on a menu? I haven't noticed an appetizer menu lately.
No.
Nothing under 10 usually, right?
No, nothing under 10. This one's got the same kind of thing going for it, Jay. This is made with shredded potatoes. This is a dry potato mix that we soaked in water and we mixed with eggs, and then we put a little bit of some of that leftover cheese you talked about, and we made little fritters. Well, these are also made ahead of time, so you can basically take them out of your prep and put them in the fryer for 30 seconds, and you have an appetizer ready to go again.
So, wait a minute. Go through that again with me. So that's potatoes?
This is shredded potatoes and eggs with a little bit of some leftover goat cheese and some of the mozzarella I had.
Okay.
Right?
Very English.
Thank you. It's actually meant to be a potato pancake, and now I've turned it into a fritter, right?
Very, very British.
This was a really great one. And actually, we did a show just the other day, and I used those on top of a lamb and Mediterranean poutine.
Which is this poutine week coming up February 1st to the 14th.
Appetizers ready.
Okay, give me some cost, Pete. Okay, here we go. Cost.
$1.
For each?
No, $1 for this whole thing, and then we're going to put 25 cents worth of stuff on top, and that'll be it. And that what went really well with that one was the minted cilantro and a little bit of the hollandaise, which is what we got right over here. And what we're doing here is we like to use the words that have value, and this is really important, right? So when you think about using it, I'm using one teaspoon of hollandaise. So again, 10 cents. So here we are again, like $1.50 dressed up.
What?
Potato fritter and goat cheese stuffed fritters.
Cameron, how much, buddy?
$11.
11?
Yeah. Nice.
I go 12.
Where you make your money, right here.
I go 12. Those are I'm going all 12 easily. The last one maybe a little bit 12 and a quarter. Those steak bites, those things are always expensive on a menu.
Yeah.
Pete, once again, buddy.
All right, so there's our rice and our eggs cooked nice and soft. Looks beautiful.
Oh, he's done a few of those eggs before in his past.
I'll tell you, cooking live and just cooking is two different things.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
basically,
I don't have an idiot up your butt.
we'll move the rice into the bowl here.
What?
Right? And now you can leave this just with the eggs, but I have a Guinness sausage that I'm going to use.
What's the black stuff?
A little bit of some black garlic, just for flavor. But like one little piece, right? So what I did with the sausage, the nice Guinness sausage.
That's black.
So the idea of this one is very similar to.
Wait a second. What kind of sausage is that?
Is your black beans and rice.
I was gonna say, is those raisins?
The black beans.
Okay. They look like raisins.
Very similar to the red beans and rice Louisiana. This is not an andouille. I chose a Guinness sausage here.
Ooh.
Right? And of course, we want some nice smoky flavor to finish that off.
Put the whole sausage on there, Pete.
Okay, so here's the thing. The sausage costs $2, but I don't need the whole sausage. So here we got $1. We got 50 cents worth of eggs. We have 50 cents worth of rice and a sprinkle of black beans. So again, $1.50.
So you could put the whole sausage if you wanted to.
You sure you could.
And still be under $3.
But again, look at what we have for the other portion. The rice has protein. The beans have protein. The eggs have protein. So I don't need the whole sausage to have a great day, a great meal,
So Pete,
whatever.
Pete,
Yeah.
why is it important? Because I don't have a lot of people on it. Well, maybe I'm sure seasoned chefs will know, understand. But why is it important to have a high protein dish?
Because that's how you sell the value again. When someone says to you, you know, the average dinner chicken is 6 ounces of chicken, and you serve them 3 ounces of chicken with no other explanation about why they feel like they've been kind of gypped. And so when you talk a little bit about this full comfort meal with protein in every ingredient that's on your plate, it's absolutely an incredible conversation piece for customers. And you get fiber, right? And of course, our fiber is so low in North America that we need to really embrace what that looks like again. And we can get a lot of really good economical inflation fighting ingredients into these dishes just like that, Jay.
Well, I always find that protein fills you up too. So when the consumer eats the dish, they're walking away going, "Wow, that was really good," and it filled me.
And then I want to show you this, and we'll talk about it.
You didn't hear my comment.
Hey,
I said you didn't bite on my comment.
I didn't hear you, Jay. Tell me again.
I said protein usually fills you up more too, right?
Yes,
so you
it
feel
does.
fuller and you feel like you got your dollars amount, right?
But you're not getting all the sugars and stuff from that fill up like you get from like white pasta, right? And just burning sugar, and you're not really getting the other sustenance and carbs and
that's why you're hungry an hour later, Peter.
Hey, then you're
That's
hungry.
why you become hungry an hour later.
Yeah, exactly. This is a lamb and lentil pie with spinach, tomatoes, and just a sprinkle of some Parmesan cheese on top. But
So
when you think
a lamb and lentil pie.
yeah, I made it with a piece of puff pastry dough.
So St. Patty's idea here, folks.
Yeah. But here's the thing again. It's easy. It's baked ahead of time. It's ready. Look at that. So this is something, again, that we're going to be able to cut in at least 8 pieces. I used...
Peter, I'm going to tell everyone on TikTok that are watching me on TikTok right now that you can watch our show on live right now. That what I'm talking to is Peter, and our This or That shows right now on TikTok. So I'm on TikTok right now too. So you can go over to us on LinkedIn, on Jay Ashton's LinkedIn page, or you can go over to Cisco Canada's YouTube page, Facebook page, and actually watch Pete make dishes under $3 cost for restaurants. Mind blowing right now.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Pete.
People will talk a little bit about what's going on with this one.
So, okay, just wait a second. Go through this again really slow with me. I'm losing you on this one.
I took 1 sheet of puff pastry. I took 1 pound of lamb. I took 1 pound of red lentils. I took 3 ounces of spinach. I took 1 tomato. And I put about 1 ounce of Parmesan cheese just on a garnish on top.
Man, that looks good.
And it's incredible. So it's got some really nice flavor to it. And again, when you think about finishing this off, it's part of maybe this the hollandaise again, where it's only 1 teaspoon of the sauce, because that's all you need to have so much flavor. There's no nuts, there's no seeds, there's no extra flavor ingredients. We made this pie for $15.50 to $16. Jay.
Okay, cost on that slice.
$2.
$2.
Yep.
Cameron, give me a sell price on that.
You know, if we add it's like a vegetable to that, you know, you can get $19.
Okay, so if we put so you said $2, Peter. If we put $1, we're still under $3.
Yep.
You put $1 of veg on there.
Yep.
What'd you say, Cameron? Sorry?
19.
19.
It's kind of what we did with the vegetables. Cameron's talking about vegetables. Is we tempura the vegetables. So here's the asparagus. Here's the zucchini, red pepper, shiitake mushrooms,
Yeah, we
and
gotta
yams.
talk about this tempura vegetable thing, Pete, because I think it's brilliant.
Okay, so besides that people know that this, hey, is tempura vegetables, but did you know that you can do this when you're closed? I did this morning, and here it is in preparation. So when you go to put it in the fryer, you don't have to worry about dipping in gloves and making a mess in your fryer and your fryer space. This is ready in 1 minute. So 2 asparagus, 2 bell peppers, 2 mushrooms, 1 yam, 2 zucchini sticks. I'm going to say that that's $1. And
No
maybe
way. No
worth of-
way, Pete.
Oh yeah, sure. Asparagus is probably about $50, right? And you got about 120 pieces in there, right?
So you've already pre-battered those, Peter, and deep-fried them before?
Yeah, I did. I deep fried them before, so they're already in our mise en place. They're already in our prep. So
That's
no
insane.
fuss, easy way to deal with it, right? And again, because it's battered, it might have been product that was falling down just a little bit, but now it doesn't matter. It's in a nice crispy batter. So that's exactly what we're going to be showing that next. So that should be coming up pretty much right away. Now, I know we didn't.
How long did it take you to do all that veg there, Pete, on that tray? How long? 12 hours?
No, I did all of these dishes here today in an hour and a half, Cameron. Just before lunch I started. So yeah, an hour and a half. I made all these dishes.
But that veg right there, all that stuff on that tray there, that'd take you how long to prep and do?
5 minutes to deep fry and about 5 minutes to cut up. So say 15 minutes in whole. So $20 an hour employee is $5. I have 5 orders here, right? So that was $1 worth of labor per order, or $1 worth of vegetables that I'm going to serve you with about 25 cents worth of dip. So $2.25 hand dipped tempura appetizer.
Wow. So everyone still, I get a lot of people asking where you can watch and stuff like this, is go over to Cisco Canada's YouTube page, Cisco Canada YouTube page, Google Cisco Virtual Kitchen Podcast, and you can watch Peter right now creating dishes under $3 for restaurants. So that means you can sell. He just made a pie for $19. That's profit, man. Huge profit.
And there it is.
Cameron, what do you think of that? Cameron, tell me more. Tell me more about that. What do you think of that? Like, is this doable in your mind?
What's that?
Is this doable? Like, Peter, are we just making stuff up here? Is this doable?
You know what? This is the epitome of utilizing your mise en place, and you know, Chef had some of this stuff left over from another function, let's just say, and he's turning it into a very profitable item. Where it, you can chop it up and put it into soup, and you're not going to get as much of a selling price. But you know, like Chef was saying, you know, you prep the stuff in advance, and it is so simple, and it's to the table really, really quick. And sometimes that's what people want, you know, when they order appetizers and drinks, to get something to their table really fast. Right, Chef?
Yep, 100%. So look at the full plate: 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 pieces of tempura. Well, I took a little bit of the green Thai chili sauce and a little bit of our spicy salsa or chimichurri here.
$2.
$2 in sauce, $2.50 maximum, and that included the labor, Jay. Because a lot of times people say, "Oh, I don't know if I can handle that." Well, you know what? You could do it ahead of time. You don't have to do it live, and it works extremely well. And you have an absolutely incredible appetizer here. So again, when you look at it, you got a beautiful piece of zucchini in this one, right? You have a really nice piece of bell pepper in this one, right? Nice, great colors in there. Look at that. Okay, we didn't just use regular mushrooms. We were able to use shiitake mushrooms because of the economic.
Shiitake mushroom.
Hey, look at that, beautiful, high end, right? And of course,
So Pete,
yeah.
Pete, Can you take a couple of vegetables and go back to your pie?
Yep,
Throw a few of those on your pie dish?
I can. Yep.
So I want to see that $19 pie dish that Cameron told me about. I'm still blown away. He pulls it out. Like, surprisingly, he had it there ready to eat. He was going for it.
No, it's okay. We're just going to replate it because if it's on the right plate and you give it a little bit of plate space, it looks like it's worth even more money. So let's make sure that we do that here. Okay.
There's a trick, people. Bigger plates.
Right. So of course, what works good here is going to be.
You gotta see this. So people on TikTok, you have to go and see this on YouTube live on Cisco Canada's Cisco Canada's YouTube page. This is insane, Pete. That's a $19 dish, $2.
See, this is important here. That
I'm going to give you $3 on that now, Pete.
Yeah. But look, even though I used a variety here, Jay, this was the important. And now that people are getting some great color on the appetite on their plate presentation. So you see the green, you see the red, you see the orange, right? Absolutely incredible flavors on that. You spin it around, and you got yourself a great dish.
Are you kidding me? That is $3. Cameron said 19. That's 19 in Winnipeg, probably too, right, Cameron? So threw a few bucks on in Toronto.
Yeah.
So 19. That's $16 profit on there. And I know labor. Don't get me wrong. I know the math. The labor and everything else you add in there. You're making an enormous amount of profit on that, Pete.
It championed that the East Indian infused pizza, right? So absolutely incredible flavors that were coming out of that. And this next one here was the Korean marinated tofu that we had.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Let's do that again. Marinated tofu?
I sliced and marinated the tofu and some Korean flavors, and I charbroiled it. But it's probably about 75 cents worth of tofu. And the idea of this could be eating it with some of the kettle chips that I'm going to be serving it with right now. But we just
kettle chips. So let's put a shout out on kettle chips, Pete.
Okay. These are.
Don't use kettle chips, people, on your restaurant right now. Go do it. Just.
Oh yeah, just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. It will save you so much money.
A lot of people use the fennel bulb. This is the fennel leaf. We also use the.
So that's so Pete. So wait a second. That's fennel in that bowl?
Yeah.
Wow.
We use some of the braised fennel in another dish, and then we use the stems of the fennel and we roasted them, and then we pureed them and we made a fennel pesto. So nothing's going to waste anymore. And we're showing the customers so many easy ways to deal with it. So this gives me the nice smokiness that I need from the tomatoes. This gives me the nice char and the flavors that I get from the Korean marinade on the tofu itself. We have the product that people would tend to throw in the garbage, and there's the fennel going on top of that, and eating it with the kettle chip. And basically, I don't have a fork, whatever. The whole idea here is to eat this like this here. You got the smoky tomato, the Korean barbecue on the kettle chip.
So envy of you.
Again,
right
$1.50.
$1.50. Even if we're off a little here, people. Even if we're a few cents off. It's still under $3. Cameron, give me a price to sell that thing for. Cameron, go back to the tofu. How much?
Okay, that's a good one. Even kettle chips by themselves, they're $9, $10. With a house smoked tomato sauce.
Yep.
And grilled, sort of like an ethnic Asian Korean tofu. That could be $13.99.
$13.99, under $3 dish. I'd buy that for $13. Feel definitely. Now I gotta just go back to this kettle chip thing because I used to use beet chips. You ever use beet chips, Cameron? You buy beets. Beets are cheap as Porsche. Right? You buy beet chips, and then we used to just cut them, like mandolin them, and then we deep fried them. Sea salt. That was it. Those suckers, you get going on beet chips, you don't stop.
And people love them.
Yeah, they're addicted. There's so much sugar in them. They're so good. And because obviously, we're not here to talk about price and stuff with this, but I know fries are not cheap in restaurants.
Yeah.
It adds up, right, Pete?
Yeah. But these are cooked ahead of time and they never fall down and they're always ready for you again. So like fries, there's never perfect portions and there's always fries going in the garbage. I see it all the time. People don't really cook a portion of fries. I even see people where they cook a portion of fries and then they put 3 portions in the basket because they need 3 portions, and then they use 2.5 portions to fill up their thing, and half a portion goes in the garbage. Like, there's no reason to have that.
Fries, unless you're... So, first of all, here's a couple things on fries. I'm going to share people with this. One, portion all your fries. If you got fries, portion it. Take the time, portion baggies or cups, portion your fries out. You have to, Pete. Because they're a high-risk item. People perceive them as dirt cheap, so people abuse French fries like toothpaste. Yeah. And I said this on the show the other day when we were doing a cooking show like this, and I said, do you imagine if toothpaste was like $5 or $6 a tube? We would use toothpaste so much differently than we do today.
Yes, I would agree.
We are starting to. I guarantee it. We're squeezing that tube differently.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. So one of our last things was to take some of the puff pastry trim that we were going to throw out, and I made little meat pies, little hand pies. And this is topped with crushed.
This is the stuff I saw in Shark's Tank. Man, those are cool, Pete.
There it is. It's got that kind of sloppy Joe chili powder kind of a filling in the pork that I used, right? And some of the cooked leftover breakfast sausage. And I ground it all up in the Moulinex, and I put it inside the puff pastry pieces, folded it over, brushed it with a little bit of egg. I got the crushed wasabi peas, so no seeds, no nuts, very economical and great flavor and great presentation. Kids' lunches, buy them by the dozen, eat them at the office. You don't have to warm them up to eat them. You can eat them at ambient temperatures, basically like a pastry, and go. You keep them in the fridge until lunch, and you can heat them up, or you can microwave them, or you can just pick them up fresh and consume them right at the office, or put them in the kids' lunches. So this was really a good one here because, again, we had the puff pastry. We put it in a round dish. It comes in a rectangular piece. What do you do with the trim? Well, we cut off the edges. We took the triangles. We folded them over. And these were triangles, Jay. And all I did was fold them over, and I just tucked them under, made them round so that the pastry would cook evenly. We wouldn't get any dry ends without any filling. And it's ready to go. So nice, great.
Get Cameron to give us a cost. Cameron, what's our cost on that? Or sale price? Cost first.
You know what? I would pay $8 just for one of those. Never mind 2.
How much, Pete, did it cost you?
If I was going to throw out the puff pastry and it had no cost, right, and we have about 2 ounces of meat in there, again, it's about 70 cents and a little bit of brush and whatever. So under $1 a meat pie, hand pie.
So if you had 3 pies on there, which people would be like, this is a lot, it'd be $3.
Yeah. And again, you'll probably be able to sell them for about $3.99 to $4.99 each, right? As people would buy them by the half dozen or by the dozen, or whether you were kind of plating it with a salad and consuming it kind of, as an entree for lunch. Very, very economical way to use it and to deal with your stuff. And again, you bake off a tray, you bake off 3 trays. When you get an order, it's ready, you plate it, you take it, or you box it, it goes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Pete, I think you gave us a good learning today that you can do all these different dishes under $3.
Absolutely. So just some of the highlights are going to be things like roasting off, marinating falling down products, dehydrating things that are in your combi or your dehydrator and reconstituting them. Because even these Fresno peppers that we did earlier, you grind them up. They make the best dusted wing spice when it was going to be something that you were going to toss out. And people are like, wow, what are these hot, spicy wings you got going on? Well, guess what? It's your own custom flavored seasoning, which included what people are really, really talking about was this Mexican lime chimichurri salsa, because we took the whole limes after we squeezed out the juice and used it. We threw it all inside and we pureed it all. This, to me, was one of my most fascinating dishes today. because the peppers were falling down, the serranos were falling down, the limes were going into the garbage, right? And we used a little bit of some white onion, a little bit of olive oil, and some garlic. That was it. Pinch of salt. Everything else was in there that we needed, and 80% of all of this was going into the trash. And this is so exciting. People had this just the other day on a steak. And they're like, "This is unbelievable. I got to add this to my menu." And they said, "How do you make it?" I said, "Well, you make it with falling down or leftover things and whatever." But you don't always have to do that. But it's just a concept of that. You buy arugula. What other kinds of things are you going to use the arugula for? Well, we got the arugula in there, right? If you have arugula salad, you don't have arugula somewhere else. How do you cross-utilize it? You always got some stuff falling down. So if you struggle with that, you can reach out to us. You can talk to your favorite sales consultants or other culinarians, and we'll be happy to support you and make sure that we help you fight inflation, because we got the gloves on. Our gloves are not
Or
off.
simply just watch all of our shows for the next 2 months, because every show is dedicated to fighting food inflation. So
That's great, Cameron.
those are phenomenal ideas, Pete.
Yeah.
Once again, you blew my mind, buddy.
Perfect.
So, Cameron, which one are you going to dive into first?
The arancini and the pizza.
I was just say, I think we got the same life. I'm on that too, buddy. That's awesome.
Oh yes, and the fritters. Yes.
Oh yeah, the fritters. I like those fritters. So, anyways, to everyone else, we're back again. Not tomorrow. Actually, we have an Influencer Friday tomorrow.
Okay.
We're reviewing some new products, new veggie line, plant-based products. So, we're on tomorrow, and then we're back next week. I got to announce the show, Pete. We just decided it's called ChatGPT is on Tuesday. We're plus also there's a plastic ban show about the new plastic bans and the rules and laws and all the things you got to know about is next week as well. So you got to tune into that. We got a packed week. We're gonna rock it out this week.
That's awesome. That'll be a great show too, because everyone doesn't know what to do and they're not sure what's happening, and it's really an important show to tune in for. Yep.
Exactly. So there's a great show there. Check it out on the Nourishing Conversation site and Google it, and you'll want to attend that or watch it later. And then, Pete, I just can't thank you enough. Cameron, thanks again on the camera. And to everyone else, watch our stuff all the time. We're trying to bring you content all the time on the SCK Network. And Pete, you have a good snack now, and we'll talk to everyone later.
All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to This or That, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.